In this next example, we're going to change melody, getting into something a little more complex, which for our particular instance means more notes, the density of the notes, and also the placement of the notes. Again, we're not really focusing on pitches, we're focusing on the rhythms. And these rhythms, you know, could be very dense on a dance melody. Dense as in rich, not dance music. You could also play these songs as a dance groove, of course. Let me pick another blues form. We'll stay with 12-bar blues, but now we have a few more notes. This is by Charlie Parker, and it's entitled, Now Is the Time. Same thing. Step number one, you want to listen to as many versions as possible. Get a lead sheet. If you can read music and you can look at the printed version of the song while you listen to many versions, you're going to start to also understand music notation and memorize the melody. That's going to be the key. You cannot start this process if you don't have your melody memorized. Okay? So you're learning repertoire and you're putting that repertoire to work in the frame of building musical independence. How cool is that? So now is the time. I'm going to start with jazz again. Why ba ba boo ba ba do day da ba do day. Melody on the bass drum. This, of course, is going to be more challenging. Remember, more notes. But again, remember, you don't have to play all the notes. Once you learn how to play the entire melody, when you actually play the song, you may decide to play only a few of them, or maybe none. We're working on developing your coordination. When you use it, that's totally up to you. Okay? So here is now is the time with the melody orchestrated on the bass drum while I keep the other limbs in jazz. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have learned a new song, you have developed a new degree of coordination. The coolest thing about this all is that I promise you, if I wrote it out for you as an exercise with notation, without any reference to the music, you would have looked at it and you would have said, this is difficult, this is hard, but most importantly, this is boring. And my point is to not make it boring at all. So I always get my students to learn at the same time coordination and repertoire. Eventually, you're worth how many songs you know in the music business. So learn as many songs as possible, and as you learn them, try to play them on the drums. Now, if you think it's too hard to begin with jazz because jazz is not your style, I'm totally with you. So you can play that melody in unison, as simple as playing unison on 2 drums of your choice. 4 tom and snare drum. You don't have to sing it like me. You don't have to sing it exactly the way you heard it on that particular version, because guess what? Every version will have a different, slightly different interpretation of the melody. And that's the beauty of music. That's why we like it. Okay? After you learn how to play the melody on 2 drums, maybe you can play on 1 drum while the other one plays quarter notes. You're going to notice that these are the building blocks of your coordination. The next step might be to play the melody between kick and snare.